Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namaha Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadesha Tarane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Grim Yat Kripatam Ham Vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya. So I welcome all of you for this evening Bhakti Shastri class, and we are at the verge of finishing this 12th chapter as well as this unit also. Mostly by Wednesday we will be finishing this. So now we have covered till now. This is 7th chapter to 11th chapter, and 12th chapter first two shlokas are also over. And in the Arjuna is asking about the impersonal and personal form and which is better. So the Krishna is answering this in this shloka, as well as in a whole chapter the Krishna gives the narration about the devotional service for the personal form. So whenever there is a conflict and whenever such people come across, we have to quote these shlokas where the Krishna's understanding, where the Krishna's answers has to be quoted as it is. Not that actually our logic and the understanding, but the better we can quote the shlokas. So it will be a more authentic way of establishing the truth. So we will be reciting the shlokas together, not together, but after me you can just recite the shloka. Yetvaksharam nirdesham
Yetvaksharam anirdeshyam
Avyaktam paryupasate
avyaktam paryupasate
sarvatra gamachintyam cha
sarvatra gamachintyam cha
Kutastham achalam dhruvam
kutastham achalam dhruvam
Sanniyamyendriyam gramam
sanniyamyendriyagramam
Sarvatra samabuddhaya
sarvatra samabuddhaya
Te prapnuvanti mameva
te prapnuvanti mameva
Sarvabhuta hite rataha.
sarvabhuta hite rataha.
Yeah, somebody can read if they can able to see this.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Or else I can make it full screen. If you don't.
No, even we can do it.
So one minute. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah.
Devotional service. Text 3 and those who worship unmanifested will also reach Krishna eventually and surrender. Characteristic of impersonal conception of absolute truth. Unmanifested, beyond sense perception, all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed, and immovable. How to worship the unmanifested? By controlling various senses, by being equally disposed to everyone, by engaging in welfare for all. Difficult for any common man, much penance involved before the ultimate realization of full surrender takes place. How to worship
this
the unmanifested?
looks very
Yes.
sorry.
Yeah. Okay, Prabhuji. Okay.
this is somewhat weird and it is somewhat inconceivable for a common man. That, something unmanifested, is not visible with the, or perceived through the senses, how we can worship them. And the characteristics are like the unmanifested, beyond sense perception. Whatever it is beyond the sense perception, how to get an idea of that. So that's why it is quite not a common way to go for the impersonalism. And impersonalism looks very tough and it looks very attractive. Whatever it is tough, that it looks for us very attractive. If we are eating with the right hand, and if somebody is eating with the left hand, then we always watch that person. He is eating with the left hand. So wonderful. He is having some siddhis or what. Or as somebody is eating with the round hand, or he is just throwing the balls of the rice into the mouth perfectly, like that. But it is like it looks very difficult for a common man to do such things. But it is not advised to do also. Generally, a common man has to eat with the hands. It has to, every morsel has to reach the mouth, and it is the expected thing. Only the musicians or the magicians are doing things, the tricks, which the common man is not doing. But everybody cannot be a magician. Everybody cannot be a yogacharya. Everybody cannot practice such hardships. So it is not recommended for everyone. For every living entity, whatever it is achievable and is very easy is a bhakti yoga. So this is not recommended. The Krishna is also saying that. Yeah, just a minute. Please go on reading this. Just 1 minute.
You're on mute, Mataji.
Translation 12.3.4. But those
12.3.
who 12.3 and 4. But those who fully worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed, and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons engaged in the welfare of all at last achieve me. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur translation. But those who worship the unnamed, formless entity, all pervading in space and time, the inconceivable, unchanging, eternal Brahman, completely subduing their senses, looking on all things equally, intent on the welfare of all, attain me alone in the form of impersonal Brahman. Baldev Vidyabhushan translation. But those who worship the Atma, the unnameable, beyond the senses, pervading the body, inconceivable, unchanging, unmoving and fixed, completely subduing their senses, looking on all things equally, intent on the welfare of all, attain me alone. Hare Krishna.
So, sense control is required for the bhakti yoga also. And the same control is required for the impersonal worship also. So that's why personal worship, which we call as Brahmavadis, they are also the transcendentalists. Transcendentalists is the people, those who are working on their senses to control. Transcendentalists, those who are working to control the senses for the pleasure of the higher being, for the higher purpose, and for the pleasure of like the higher personality or the higher impersonality. So they are not having that understanding that control the senses for getting something material, but controlling the senses for getting something spiritual. That is the concept. That's why they are called as a transcendentalist. So these people are also working for that. And even the Jnana Yogi or Ashtanga Yogis, they are more doing some severe penances like this in trying to achieve the supreme spiritual strength. But the same thing which we can also achieve it by doing our daily activities. It is not required to go in the forest and do such hardships and to control the senses. That's why our founder Acharya always says that we have to have this engaging our senses for the love service of the Lord. That Ambarish Maharaj says that Vachamsi Vaikuntha Gunanu Varnane Tanur Harer Mandir Marjana Vishu Titim Chakara Chasat Kathodye. These are the things. Vachamsi Vaikuntha Gunanu Varnane. These Jnana yogis or the Ashtanga yogis, they are not speaking anything because they know that whatever we are speaking, it is useless. Shrotavyaadini Rajendram Nrunan Santi Sahasasha Pashatam Aduratam Gurueshu Gurumedinam. Like the Guru, they are speaking all nonsense philosophies, all nonsense things. But the devotees, what they are speaking about the Lord, the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. So it is engagement in a positive way. The senses has to be engaging in a positive way, not in a negative way. Not just like that, the senses, we don't have to use it at all. The people are having the concept that we will not be using the senses at all. Blocking all the senses. No, blocking the senses, it is not required. Using it for the positive energy, using it for the spiritual energy, control the senses. Or else it will be busted out. One day, our sense control in this way, what the impersonalists are doing, it will be busted out. We are putting it like there is a pipe for of the water, and this pipe or the water is actually going for the way wrong purpose, and that's why they are blocking that pipe. But one day the pressure increases within the pipe and the block goes out, the burst out. But the same thing, the pipe has to move for the right purpose. That is required. The flow is there already. So what the purpose you are using it for? That is most important. Not just block it. Blocking will not happen at all. Our desires will not be blocked. Our desires has to be utilized for the right purpose.
Srila Prabhupada, the indirect process. Impersonals also attain the same goal, but after many births. Reference, Bahunam Janmanam Antam.
Jnanavan ma prapadyante Vasudeva Sarvantis. This is the shloka is mentioned.
Okay. B. What all one needs to do: control the senses, render service to everyone, engage in the welfare of all beings. Third one, no perfect realization unless one approaches Krishna. Fourth, much penance involved before one fully surrenders unto him. Fifth one, very difficult for the common man.
So these are the characteristics what Srila Prabhupada is mentioning about in this commentary, in this purport. Impersonalists also attain the same goal, but it takes long time for them. And then afterwards, they know that Vasudeva Sarvamiti, the Mahatma Sudurlabha. After long time, they come to the senses that whatever we are doing, it is for the Vasudeva Sarvamiti. It is for the pleasure of the Vasudeva. They will be understanding after long passage of time or after so many births, they will be understanding. Bhunam Janam Ante. And what all one needs to do it is, they will be controlling the senses, render service to everyone. Mostly they will be engaging in the service of the society, engage in the welfare of all beings. How difficult it is. Engage in the service of all beings. We are bound to do seva for our nation, our community, and our family more. And how much we are able to do the seva for the nation, whenever it requires, we are paying the taxes every time. We are, whenever the nation requires, we are paying some extra money when the war is happening. That time we are doing it. And then for the community, what we are doing something whenever it is required. For our ISKCON community, we are always helping that financial support and some sevas we are doing for the community, for the Vaishnava community. And the family, we are almost all of our time we are spending with the family and for their enhancement. So it is a limitation for one person to do seva for or to serve for all living beings. In our home, how many living entities are living? We are not knowing, and how much time we are giving to serve them. The ants are there, small flies are there, many insects are there inside. How many living entities are living in our home? And we are not knowing. The engaging in the welfare of the, we are not knowing to do it that. But that has to be done. If that is not been done, like the impersonalists, they have to work like that way. No perfect realization unless one approaches Krishna. They will be doing that all sort of service for the society, for the humanity, but they will not be getting the perfect realizations. Their realizations, like nowadays we are seeing so many saintly people, they are not directly talking about the God. There is one famous personality. He is having his own foundation in Chennai. You must be knowing to whom I am just referring. How much he is talking about the God. Like the principles, whatever he is deriving from his small seminars or some small debates or dialogues, it is for the devotees, it looks very primitive. For me at least, it is somewhat primitive ideas. It is for the humanity, for the society, and all this thing has to be done. But where he is speaking about the God, there is no iota of referring the God's contribution in the human society, or either completely neglecting or not speaking about the God. So that is the realizations what he is speaking about in a higher perspective. It is somewhat primitive ideas, isn't that? It's like whenever I ask one question to our Gaur Gopal Prabhu, so that Prabhuji, you are speaking something, but it is not about the God more. He says that the audiences, we are just trying to make their level and understanding to come to that platform, and then once it is coming, that time we will be speaking about that also, but not in a public place. I am just speaking about the God most. The people are liking these ideas, and I am just developing their faith like that, somewhat moral principles, and then we have to take it. But if the personalities, those who are highly revered, they are not speaking about it. There is one organization here in Pune where the majority Sindhis are going, and one revered personality, Mr. Vaswani, JP Vaswani, now he is no more, but he was famous for his talks. Thousands and lakhs of people used to attend whenever he is giving the lecture. some spiritual organization, but not referring that much about the God. He was referring, I'm not denying that he was not completely referring that, but he was referring, but in some pandal program like that, where the majority of the people are coming, lakhs of people are coming, and he was a good speaker also. But it was not that much level of satsanga, but it was the talks about the society more. So that the realization of such person will not be perfect unless they approaches Krishna. What the realizations the Srila Prabhupada and many acharyas of Krishna consciousness, they are offering to us in comparison with such personalities with whom I was referring just now, to whom I was referring just now. Their understanding and the realizations, I feel it is somewhat primitive. Much penance is involved before one fully surrender unto him. So it is their idea that indirect process requires more penances. But the bhakti yoga, which is direct process, it is not requiring that much. Yeah, please go on reading.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandal Pranam. One question, Prabhu.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, are there any impersonalists or yogis that have achieved, that have attained Krishna through this impersonal meditation? Like it is said it's possible. Are there any examples?
This is like whenever such personalities get association of the devotees, they will be achieved. For the Ashtanga yogis, for the Brahmavadis, whenever such personalities get across the association of the devotees, they will be. Like the examples are 4 Kumaras. They were the Brahmavadis. What they got it? They got the association. With whom? It was like the Lord Shiva was the first. No, the Shukdev Goswami was the Brahmavadi. He was also like the Brahmavadi. The 4 Kumaras were the Brahmavadis. So they are the impersonalists. Impersonalists means Mayavadis, no. It is the transcendental impersonalists, those who are having the idea that it is the Lord is they are worshipping the Brahma Jyotis. So these people, when they come in association with the devotees, only that time they will be transferred. Okay. Please go on reading.
Thank
you. One Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura. Prabhuji, let some other people read. Some noise is there outside.
Yeah. Prabhuji, some other Prabhuji would like to read.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'll read. Thank you. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Sridhar Swami, and Srila Prabhupada take Aksharam to be Brahman. Baladev Vidyabhushan and Ramanuja take Aksharam to be Atma. Those who first only worship their own Atma, Aksharam, undergo a great deal of suffering. The ideas presented in verse 3 are connected with the conclusion in verse 5. Klesho dhikatarastas tesham.
So this is the idea where Baladev Vidyabhushan and Ramanuja, they are talking about the Aksharam. What is that shloka? We can go to the shloka. Aksharam anirdesham avyaktam Aksharam, what it is been referring, the Ramanujacharya and Baladev Vidyabhushan, they are saying this Aksharam is to be Atma. They are referring to the Atma, those who first only worship their own Atma, means they are worshipping themselves, undergo a great deal of suffering as per the shloka number 5. Kleshu adhiktarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakto hi gatir dukkham These are the shlokas where they are saying that those who are referring the Brahman, no, those who are referring the Atma, means oneself, and worshipping like that, they are undergoing the suffering. And even Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakurpada and Sridhar Swami and Srila Prabhupada says that the Brahman, those who are worshipping the Brahman, they are also undergoing the klesha. Yeah, please go on, ready.
Word Anirdesham, meaning impossible to define by words related to devas, are men who have bodily designations because it is different from the body. Sarvatragam, spreads through the body, senses and pranas. Achintyam, not subject to logical analysis, to be known only through Shruti. Kutastham, all times limited to enjoying a small form. Achalam, without movement. Dhruvam, eternally fixed in having Paramatma as its sole shelter.
Yes.
A result, Balde Vidyabhushan. After attaining the realization of their own Atma, these persons also attain me in a form predominated by extreme majesty. There is no doubt about this. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Attain me in the form of impersonal Brahman, Ramanujacharya. Those who meditate on the imperishable principle, individual self, in this way, even they come to me. Ye evam aksharam upasate te api mam prapnuvanti eva. It means that they also realize their essential self, which in respect of freedom from samsara is like my own self. Matsyamana akaram asam shariranam asam shariranam atmanam prapnuvanti evam ityayah. Reference, Supreme Brahman is also denoted by akshara but distinct from self.
Yeah. So these four acharyas are having the differences of opinion. Aksharam. Aksharam is the self, or Aksharam is impersonal Brahma. And they are quoting their ideas that they are, even if they are worshipping themselves, as per the Balde Vidyabhushan, they will attain me in a form predominated by extreme majesty. Even if like Atma, they are worshipping, the Atma is also Adbhuta. And that Adbhuta majesty, they will understand it because we are the fragmental part and parcel of the Lord. So that is also Adbhuta. If they come to know that, even if somebody comes to know the Sankhya Yoga, that we are not this body, we are the soul. That's why actually Prabhupada says in one sentence to his disciples that if we come to know that we are not this body, we are the soul, within 18 days we can conquer the whole world. If you people come to know that you are not this body, you are the soul, and live on that, then we can conquer the whole world. But that understanding is somewhat theoretical understanding is there for us. We are not this body, we are the soul. This understanding has not developed, deep rooted, it is not there in us. 12.5 Klesho adiktarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkham dehavadbhir avapyate. Please go on reading this.
Oh, link. Sridhar Swami, if they also attain you alone, then where is the excellence of the former? In reply, the distinction between them due to one being easy and other difficult is being stated in 3 verses. Nanucha te api tvameva prapnuvanti tarhi taresham yukta tamatvam kruta kityapekshayam kleshakrutam विशेषमाः क्लेश इति त्रिभिः.
Just a minute. Is that visible to you? So this is a flow chart. In this purport, what is mentioned. Please.
Shall I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Devotional service, text 5. Path of impersonalist is troublesome and very difficult. Two groups of transcendentalists, both ultimately bring to the same goal. Bhakti yogis, those persons who are in full Krishna conscious, engage in devotional service of the Lord. Process of Bhakti Yoga is direct. It is a process of being in direct service with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the Bhakti Yoga accepts the deity of Krishna as worshipable and thus can serve the Lord. The second path, Jnana Yogis, those who follow the path of inconceivable, unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme Lord. Process of Jnana Yoga is very troublesome. It is very difficult to simply theoretically understand that one is not this body. Prabhuji, somebody else can read it maybe.
Yeah.
Can I read? Text 5. Path of impersonalist is troublesome and very difficult. Right. Practice and realizations. Difficulties for impersonalists. So practice aspect, they have to understand the unmanifested representation of the Supreme. Process is difficult. Example, studying Vedic literatures like Upanishads, learning the language, understanding the non-perceptual feelings. Realizations. Impersonalists take the risk of practicing difficult path and still do not realize the absolute truth in the ultimate end. Partial realization. They can achieve only Sat and Chit realizations. A Jnana Yogi may come to the point of Bhakti Yoga by the grace of devotee, but still long practice in impersonalism becomes a source of trouble. A source of trouble cannot give up this idea. Unmanifested realization is against the nature of
His spiritual blissful
blissful. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. The advantage for personalists above best solution for every individual living entity, the process of Krishna consciousness, which entails full engagement in devotional service. Warning also that if one wants to ignore this devotional service, there is a danger of turning to atheism. So practice aspects of advantages for personalists. Krishna consciousness provides simple practice, simply chanting Hare Krishna under the guidance of bona fide spiritual master, simply by offering regulative obeisances unto the deity, hearing the glories of the Lord, eating the remnants of foodstuff offered to the Lord. Realization. They have no risks, trouble or difficulty in approaching the Supreme Lord directly. Complete realization. Sat Chit Ananda. Reference Srimad Bhagavatam. If surrender or bhakti is the ultimate goal, then why to take the trouble to understand what is Brahman and what is not Brahman and spend one's whole life in that way, when the result is anyway going to be troublesome. Hare Krishna.
So this is a like the troublesome path. The Lord is talking first. What is the troublesome path? Why the Lord has chosen to talk about the impersonalism first, and then establishing the personal idea and the personalism, where he is saying that like whatever generally in the lectures, the latter points are been remembered first. And whenever you are giving a lecture, you can just ask the audience after completion of the lecture. They will be majoritarily understanding and recollecting the points which has been spoken later. So that's why it is the idea of the Lord that whatever I am talking first, the people may not be understanding much, but the devotional part which I will be talking after. So that will be the understanding of the Lord that I should keep the devotional service after this impersonalism or the condemnation of the impersonalism. Able to see that? Please go on reading.
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you for showing this slide, Prabhuji, and they're very important for us. Yesterday we had a wonderful celebration. We miss you, your association. Let me read this one. Deity worship. Deity worship is not worship. Reference Vedic literatures. Worship may be saguna or nirguna of the Supreme, possessing or not possessing attributes. Worship of the deity in the temple is saguna worship, because the Lord is represented by material qualities. Absolute nature of the Lord. The form of the Lord, although represented by material qualities like stone, wood, etc., is not actually material. Analogy. Deity worship compared to a mailbox. Now, deity is the authorized representation of God known as Archa Vigraha. The deity is the incarnation of Supreme Lord to accept service from the living entities. Lord is omnipotent. He can accept the services in Archa Vigraha form just to make it convenient for the man.
So why it is called as installation ceremony? It's like installation means it is having that calling a Lord to appear in this energy which we have made it, which any sculptor is making some form, and that we are not calling as a deity. But the procedure is there. Whenever such a form has been made, either of the wood or the stone or the marble or any form which we have made it like that, or the sand also. There is one sand Narasimha deity in Maharashtra, very, very famous near to Pandharpur. We always go whenever we are going to the Pandharpur. We are going to this deity, which has been worshipped by the Prahlad Maharaj, and the Pujari tells that the Prahlad Maharaj was worshipping this deity out of sand in his childhood past. So there is a Neera Narsinghapur near to the Pandharpur. It's like one hour journey from the Pandharpur. Neera Narsinghapur. If somebody is interested, then they can visit. Or else, if they are they would like to come to Pune, and from Pune to Pandharpur they would like to go, I can guide them, or I can come also. There's like very beautiful deities are there of the Narasimha Dev Bhagwan. So it is as per the vidhi, the installation happens. The pure devotees puts their hand on the different parts of the body and they chant the mantra and pray to the Lord that please appear in this form, where we can worship you in the form. Because the impersonalism or the impersonal worship is very difficult. But whenever we are offering the 16 atoms to you. Every time we are offering, whenever we are doing a Shringar to the Lord, we are offering the 16 atoms. Idam asanam, etat padyam, idam arghyam, idam achmaniyam, esha madupaka, idam punarachmaniyam, idam snaniyam, idam vastram, imani abharanani. So these are the atoms we are offering. Then esha dhupa, esha deepa, etani pushpani, we are calling the different names, and please take it. It is for you. So these are the 16 items we are offering to the Lord. It is called Shodashopchar Puja. And by that, I will be engaged. My mind will be engaged. This is like the deity worship is the full absorption. Whenever somebody is having the deities in their home, they should not give opportunity to our partner only that you will be taking care of the deities, I will be earning the money. They should know how to Shringar other deities. Have some time, at least 2 days in a week. Please dress your deities as per the gorgeous way you can do it. Our devotees are looking forward some different ways of decorating or having the pagadis for the Lord, and they are the like pujaris. After dressing the Lord, they always see that, oh Lord, how are you looking? How the gorgeousness is there, and we are always contemplating. If my seva is there on a Friday, I always see that on Thursday I meditate that how I will be doing the shringar for the small Gaur-Nitai in a temple, how I will be having the pagadi, what dress they will be having tomorrow. So I go and see that the dress color, and then I would like to see that whether what is the matching sachet for the Lord, the matching in the pagadi I can make it, and the different ways like the Rajasthani pagadi or Maharashtrian pagadi or whatever the pagadi, and how much the flower I can put it over it. So this is the way where it is absorption. We are there to serve the Lord, and the Lord is accepting. So that way, and offering the bhoga, the Mataji should see that I'm offering to this Gaur Nitai or Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra or Radha Krishna. They are eating. What way I can offer the best food, proper authentic food. It is not that only somewhat I would like to try on these personalities. I'm learning something new and offering every time the whatever the learn or uncooked food. Please make it sure that whatever the best I can do it, and I have learned it nicely under some guidance, not on a YouTube always. Nowadays, the people are learning the recipes on a YouTube. And majority times, the YouTube recipes, we are not able to make it. If you can make it, then it is all right. But the majority times, like we are not accustomed to make such recipes, but proper authentic recipes, whatever you are knowing it, offer it to the Lord with the good consciousness. The Prabhujis should offer the food, the Matajis should cook it, and the grown-up kids, they can do some arti during daytime. Whenever they are having the time, they should arti. Sometimes the devotees give the excuses that, oh, our kids are 12 years, 13 years, but you can make it sure that they are also learning this. So by that, they will also go close to the Lord. Those who are very small kids, 5 to 3, 1, 4, like that, up to 5 years, they are very small. But 8 years onwards, we should have the culture of training them also. What you can give them, like this is the way we are offering the arti to the Lord, and the philosophy of why we are doing the arti, why we are offering this dhupa, why we are offering this deepa, why we are offering this chamara. This is like we are offering the 5 atoms: earth, water, air, fire, ether. This Pancha Mahabhuta, which is all pervading to this whole entire creation, that is given by the Lord, and we are offering this Pancha Mahabhuta to the Lord only. How we are offering this Pancha Mahabhuta to the Lord in Aarti? Somebody can help us? Earth, water, air, fire, ether. Which atom represents the earth? One by one, actually, if we can speak. Which is the atom which we are offering as a earth? No. Sorry. No. Sorry. I'm just asking the question. Which is the atom of the earth which we are offering to the Lord?
Dhupa.
Dhupa is the earth.
Flower.
More specific is a flower. Dhupa is also earth. Water.
Water is water. Yeah.
Earth, water, fire.
Arghya.
Yeah. Fire.
Incense.
Sorry,
The
fire.
incense. Deepam.
Fire is
Prabhuji.
Aarti.
And
Aarti
Deepam.
what we are.
Deepam.
Deepa. Deepa. Air. Earth,
Chamara.
water, fire.
Chamar.
Chamar.
Peacock.
Chamar and peacock.
Peacock.
And ether.
Ether may be incense.
Dhupa, Prabhuji. Dhupa.
Who is speaking? Ether.
Dhupa, Prabhuji.
Uday Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, you raise your hand. Please answer. Prabhu.
No, Prabhuji, I have a question, Prabhuji, actually.
No, last answer, if you can just give, then you can ask a question. The last ether atom, what is that?
Prabhuji, ether, I am thinking it is peacock feather, Prabhuji, fanning. That's what I'm thinking, Prabhuji. I don't know if it's correct or wrong.
Our Prabhus are there.
Conch.
Oh, yeah.
Prabhuji, Chamar.
Yes. Conch.
Conch, Prabhuji.
Yes, conch is the ether. It is the sound, na?
Yes.
So it is, yeah, who was having the question?
Prabhuji, I had question, Prabhuji. So the question is on Arati, Prabhuji, for the deities that are at home. So once I heard in a lecture that one should be chanting 16 rounds strictly to be giving Arati to the deities. If children are in that category that they might not be chanting 16 rounds, still can they do Arati, Prabhuji?
If the father and mother they are chanting, and the children are not breaking the 4 regulatory principles, then they can do.
Okay, Prabhuji. That question I had from long.
At least one or 2 rounds they can chant.
Sure, Prabhuji. Sure, Prabhuji.
See, the father and mother are 16 rounders. The kids are born as a devotee, and they are accustomed to this ISKCON culture. Then eventually they will not be chanting 16 rounds from their childhood, but they are knowing that this is the way, like my father and mother leading their life. So 1 or 2 rounds on their father and mother's behalf, they are offering this arati. Because generally it has been seen that the father is going out in the morning and coming in the evening, and the mother is cooking, and sometimes the Matajis are having some issues with their body, so that's why they will not be able to offer the arati every day. So that time the Lord may accept the kids' seva, but that has to be in proper standard, that we need to teach them good standard of what has to be offered. The hands and the legs has to be clean. Probably they can, probably not, but it's like they can take bath and offer with the fresh clothes.
Yes, Prabhuji, it helps.
That standards should not be minimized. That okay, Prabhuji, they are coming from outside, at least they are offering the arati without taking bath. At least we should have that standard, that they are not chanting 16 rounds, but they are chanting 1 or 2 rounds. They are having the faith over the Radha and Krishna's worship, and they are eating the prasadam. They are not eating non-veg outside, and inside the home they are eating the Krishna prasadam. If they are eating with their friends the non-veg items, then it should not be done that way, or it should not be encouraged that way.
Understood, Prabhuji.
Anyhow, they can chant the holy name, but worshipping the deities, some standard has to be kept like that. It is not the absolute standards are there. The people makes their standard for their deities whenever they are worshipping the deities in the home. In the home, we are saying that it is not the temple standard, it is the home standard. One can set norms and standards. It is expected whenever I guide some family to whom I know, I tell the husband that in a day you have to do some deity worship, some extent. While whenever you are coming back or whenever you are going to the office, that time you can offer the bhoga to the Lord. Have some time for the Lord to speak with him, to talk with him. How are you? You are the owner of the house. The Lord is the owner of the house, and we should have that time for the owner of the house, that I am working for your pleasure. If I am not having a time for the owner, then what is, for the namesake only we are speaking that you are the owner, and actually we are the owner. We are this thing. At least once, some specific time we can give half an hour for the deity worship and the chanting remaining around, half an hour for reading our scriptures. So 1 hour for this is like for the Lord Seva, 2 hours for one's sadhana, Hare Krishna Mahamantra chanting. That's all. Three hours is enough. And whenever you are having the holidays, that time you can go to the temple and have some services there. In a week, at least 1 or 2 hours, we can have some service, engagement of the preaching, having some programs. That way, as like initially, whenever somebody is very junior, that time he can have or he can attend some programs, the preaching programs. And after 5 to 6 years, one can have, like the Grahasthas can also have once in a month or twice in a month some preaching engagement. By that way, we are expanding even families.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Please, Mataji, if you can read this also now.
Sure, Prabhuji. Comparison of impersonalists and personalists. Impersonalists and personalists in terms of practice. Beginning with impersonalists, meditate on formless, difficult for embodied. Personalists, meditate on form of deity, easy for embodied. Impersonalists, unmanifested, is beyond the senses, restricts the senses. Personalists, senses can perceive the deity and sound of mantra, engages the senses. Impersonalists must understand the Brahman through Upanishads, etc., learn the language Sanskrit, understand the non-perceptual feelings. Personalists understands Krishna through devotional service, simple chanting Hare Krishna, guidance of bona fide spiritual master, simply by offering regulative obeisances unto the deity, hearing the glories of the Lord, eating the remnants of foodstuff offered to the Lord. Impersonalists, long practice makes it difficult to take up bhakti. Personalists, completely natural. Impersonalists, troublesome, no relationship with the Lord. Personalists, miseries mitigated by relationship with Krishna. Impersonalists, depends on our own endeavor. Personalists, Krishna delivers devotee from Maya. Why? Because Krishna himself recommends the process out of paternal love by his causeless mercy.
So it is the 6th point, which is somewhat dangerous. Depends on our own endeavor. Impersonalists, they conceive that through my endeavor only I am achieving the Krishna, or I am achieving the Brahma Jyoti. But here, in the constant endeavors in a devotional life, the devotees are always dependent on the law and the mercy of the Lord. So that is really important. This 6th point is more important than any other point, because the devotees are always dependent on the Lord by this, the mercy of the Lord. Please go on reading.
Comparison of Bhagavan versus Brahman. In terms of realization, Brahman versus Bhagavan. Brahman, Nirguna without qualities. Bhagavan, Saguna with form, qualities, etc. Brahman, inconceivable. Bhagavan, possess inconceivable potencies. Brahman, all pervading. Bhagavan, all pervading by energy and as super soul. Brahman, unchanging, fixed and immovable. Bhagavan, unchanging, fixed and immovable. Brahman cannot perceive any opulence because of lack of activity. Bhagavan, possessor of 6 opulences in full. Brahman, risk of not realizing absolute truth at the end. Bhagavan, success is guaranteed as nothing is lost. Brahman may realize the eternal Sat and knowledge, Chit aspects of his original nature, partial realization. Bhagavan realizes eternity, knowledge and bliss, includes Brahman and Paramatma realization.
This is a differences between.
Prabhuji,
Translation.
one quick question, Prabhuji. Can you go back to the previous slide? The second point, Prabhuji, can you explain a little more that Bhagavan aspect, possess inconceivable potencies?
Yeah, so the first of all, he is having the Saguna and he is having inconceivable potencies. Means what? This inconceivable potencies where we are not thinking. It's like there are some potencies where the people or the siddhis would like to have it. Anima, Laghima, Prapti, Siddhi. But this quality is the Krishna is having at all. It's like he is having. And these are the inconceivable, where we are seeing that Krishna is eating through the eyes. It is inconceivable. But he is not inconceivable. His potencies are inconceivable. Where the Brahman he is not having the form as per the impersonalist understanding, but the Bhagwan is having the form, and with the form, with his different limbs, he can perform the different activities. He is there. Inconceivable potencies means what? This is like the material form or the material structure. Apparently, the deities, but he can walk with the deities also, with the stone. So it is inconceivable. When the devotee requires, he can do such things which we are not able to understand or conceive it. So that the potencies are there. He is there with even the Krishna, the small Krishna, baby Krishna, is in a human form. It's like apparently it looks like a very small baby which is helpless, but he is killing the Putana. And how he is killing the Putana? Just by sucking the breast. It is completely inconceivable how one can kill a demon is like Putana with just sucking the breast. So it is inconceivable. He is not having the limitation with the bodies. The people are not understanding that this impersonalists, they are saying that how you can limit a Krishna. So that's why he is a limitless and he is not having the form. How you can limit a supreme Brahman by keeping him in one body. which is body means it is a limitation. But it is not a limitation, it is inconceivable. The personality which is having the body, but he is doing such miraculous things which is beyond the body. So he is inconceivable potencies are there with him. He is not inconceivable. He is not having this nirguna aspect. He is having the saguna aspect, but he is having the inconceivable potencies.
Sure, Prabhuji. So in the deity form, we can perceive, we can experience the presence of the Lord. That means it's a saguna form, right?
A saguna form, but we should not make it like that the Lord is a stone only and he is not able to, he is requiring our help to decorate his own body. No, he is out of mercy, he is giving the service to decorate his body. He is giving us the engagement. It is not his limitation that, okay, I am helpless, please help me to put a turban. But we are into this mode of approaching the Lord that, oh Lord, you are giving us, offering this service. He can put all his garments over his body. He can have this potential. He is standing in front of us as a helpless, like that. Okay, is there anyone who would like to serve me? But he can do. He can walk also. He can talk also with the same deity form. So why cannot he dress himself? But out of mercy, he is giving us the service. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Translation 12.5. For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Translation. Those who are attached to the impersonal realization encounter extreme difficulties. The unmanifest goal brings suffering to those who have bodies. Baldev Vidyabhushan translation. Those who are attached to the Atma encounter extreme difficulties. Concentrating on the invisible Atma brings suffering to those who have bodies.
Yeah. So this we will not be seeing that. Yeah, the next one.
Srila Prabhupada on deity worship, authorized process. It is not idol worship. Worship of the Lord may be saguna or nirguna. Deity worship, saguna, though represented by material qualities like stone, wood, or oil paint, Lord is not actually material. Authorized representation. Example, mailboxes. If we post letters, they will naturally go to their destinations. But any old box or imitation not authorized by post office will not do the work. The omnipotent, all-powerful Lord comes as Acha Vigraha. He accepts the services of the devotee to make it convenient for the conditioned being.
So here the analogy is that the mailbox, which we use, which we were using it 10 years, 20 years back, before this Gmail services. But that time actually we were posting the mails into the mailbox, which were having the red color, authorized red color, where it was been written as like authorized post topics, address were also been written. And there only we were putting this our mail, and we were having the guarantee that this mail will reach to the proper destined person which we are trying to give our message to. But any box which is very much close to us, that will not give us the confirmation that it will be reaching to this the person to whom we are expecting to send a mail. So it is authorized mailboxes by the post offices, by the mailing services of the government. It will be reaching. So the same, like the deities are those who are Archa Vigrahas, those who are installed by the proper pure devotees with the good method, that like the worship to that deity or Archa Vigraha, the Lord accepts the services, the prayers. Lord accepts the prayers by the devotees to that particular deity which has been installed in proper mood and the proper personality. Any stone or any idol is not, if we are worshipping like that, it will not be heard. It will not be called as a service to the Lord, because it is not authorized. Please go on, ready.
I have one question, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, if someone is not talking to the deity or not spending time with the deity in that sense, should that person be thought of as being not taking the Lord in the personal form, or is being more impersonal with the Lord because is not able to or doesn't appreciate like talking to the Lord or communicating like that?
You mean to say that those who are not worshipping the deities and they are doing some devotional service like that, but they are not worshipping the deities in particular. So they are not the Saguna worshippers, like that you are saying?
They are worshipping deities, but they are not, like you said a while ago, Prabhuji, like you have to spend some time, talk to the deities. You have to have that kind of a relationship with the home deities that are there at home. If someone is not able to do that, they might be worshipping, they are doing all the prescribed worship in terms of arati, offering bhoga, everything. But if they're not talking to the deity personally.
Talking, sorry. The talking should not be taken like that. In advanced stage, the people talks also. And we should have some like the prayers in front of the deities. Whenever we are doing bhoga offering, whenever we are doing arati, that time we, like you might have seen that the pujaris, they are after the arati or after the bhoga offering, they spend at least 1 minute or half a minute that in front of the Lord, and with the folded palms, they are having this prayer. Oh Lord, while doing this service, I was somewhat mechanical. I know that you are Sakshat Vajendra Nandans standing in front of me, but due to my gross rigidness of anarthas, I just did this seva very mechanically. Please forgive me and accept my services. Don't abandon me. That way, at least we can ask the forgiveness. That way, and before starting, we can just have this mode, oh Lord, let me do with the proper mood. You are there in front of me, and to whom I am giving the preferences to my own time. Sometimes the devotees gets so much obsessed with the management and they are doing the worship, and in a hurry burry they are just moving it very fast. I don't know whether they are having some other time, just like some extra time for the management. They would like to do some management, so that's why they are, but they should not be done. Whenever we are in front of the Lord, everything is for the Lord's pleasure. We are making it sure that I am there for you at least for this 10 to 15 minutes. I am there. I will not be doing any other thing which is not suiting for the, not according to the deity worship standard. I will try to absorb my mind for your, in your service. I am doing a bhoga offering, it is meant for you. So the way the mudras has to be done, the way the procedure has to be done, like the mantras has to be chanted, and the proper absorption is required, that has to be done. Not that now, oh Lord, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes are there only. Now I have to go to the office. I will be late. And now somehow or other Mataji has made it very late. So I will be offering 1 minute only, 1 minute offering you. Please have it. And I'm just rushing for the office. At least in some like once in a month, it may be like that. But if it is happening every day or every time or majority of the time, then we are just mechanically doing our services. So we should try to enhance this standard. The Matajis will be cooking on time with the proper consciousness, having the Hare Krishna Mahamantra going on, or either they are chanting or the recording of some lectures, or the Hare Krishna Dhuni is there. With the proper mood, they are cooking, and with the proper mood and time, the husband is offering the bhoga. So that way, this atmosphere is called as a Vaikuntha atmosphere. That way, like the Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, that whenever I go to my home, I see the Vaikuntha, because the children are doing the worship of the deities, the matas, the mothers are doing the cooking for the pleasure of Lord, and others are talking about the Krishna Katha. And when I reach to home, I feel that it is the Vaikuntha I achieved now. So that way it is, the deities are center of the home. Those who are having the Gaur-Nitai, they are the master of the houses. So what is pleasing to them, that has to be done. And some small festivals has to be organized for their pleasure. So that way we will be advancing. The grihasthas, their advancement more happens by the deities in their home. Generally, it is being seen that, because they develop some love for their deities. So the deity worship advances them more and more. So that is the message. It was like the deities has to be treated the way they has to be treated like that. And those who are not having the deities, I'm not knowing what exactly your question is, but I am just giving some understanding, more understanding of the deities. Those who are not having the deities, they should see that, like if the husband is not a devotee, the Mataji is only the devotee, they should have that aspiration that one day I will be also having a deity. Or else not, then I will somehow or other, I will go to the temple and offer something to the temple deities. The temple deities are the deities for the whole community of that particular city. At least once in a week, I will be going for the garland seva. The Matajis are the devotees, but their husbands are not the devotees. In that case, they can do this. Or else I can think of, then I will be having a lamination of the whole altar of whatever the temple it is there, Radha Madan Mohan, and the whole Guru Shishya Parampara I will be having in my room, where my husband will not be having the objection. And I will be talking with them. I will be offering my bhoga to that altar, which is the photos. And that way it will be a good way, where we can offer some service. And if the husbands are the devotees and the Matajis are not, there are 2-3 cases I know in Pune, where they say that we are trying to make our wives the devotees, but it is not happening. So the husband can go more often to the temple, because husband may not able to worship the such way, while the Matajis are having the chances to worship in their home, the husband will not able to do that. He is going out, but he can offer some seva once in a week. He can do some service which is having more closeness with the deity worship. That's why I tell to such devotees, do some service the financially way, where you can offer a week's dhupa sponsored from your money, and it is specifically you can purchase the dhupa which the temple wants, the same brand. You can offer it to the temple devotees or to the pujaris and say that, Prabhuji, it is a dhupa service from myself. So this dhupa with dhupa or whatever the things are required, the attar is required, essence is required whenever we are offering to the Lord Narsimhadev and all. So that this atom can be brought, the same atom which the devotees or the pujari wants it. You can have a good friendship with the pujaris in a temple and ask them what you wanted. Then please purchase it and give it to them. So it will be a very dear, loving service to the Lordship. Hope that is that same way I was answering the question like that.
Yes, Prabhuji. I just have one more small question, Prabhuji. Sorry if it takes a lot of time. Prabhuji, so there is a person who has faith in the Supreme Lord, who has faith in the deity worship, who is worshipping deities, but is not actually offering personal prayers or personally kind of expressing to the deity or interacting with the deity in terms of in a conversation form, Prabhuji. So is that person to be seen as still not very much in the personal form of the deity worship, or is it like, should we see that person as still somewhere thinking in the impersonal form of the Lord more than the personal form of the Lord? That is what I'm thinking, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
So if I'm
Mataji,
not able to do that,
yeah, if that person is offering like the seva for the deities, but not offering the prayers, like the personal prayers you are asking.
yes,
No need
Prabhuji.
to offer the personal prayers. Whatever the acharyas has sing, either that can be offered. That 2 to 3 minutes, one Vaishnava song in a glorification of the Lord. If you are not asking any like the prayers or something, or at least we can sing, oh Lord, how much beautiful you are. That is,
Yes,
or else we can sing Radha Krishna Prana Mora Jugal Kishore Jivane Marane Gati Yaranahi. This is very simple song where the glorification and our mindset, Radha Krishna Prana Mora Jugal Kishore. My pran is you, O Radha Krishna. You are my loved one. And not only Krishna, but Radharani also. So that simple prayers, the Vaishnava songs, which is having the depth of the meaning, that can be sung. It takes 2 to 3 minutes. And that can be sung personally, not in audio recording. The audio is going on and like the prayer or the heart is not there for this audio recording. You can have the Vaishnava song in front of you. Even if you are not like the majority of the Mataris are the good singers, like the personality like me, I am not a good singer, but at least we can offer the prayers. Krishna likes that the prayerful attitude, the prayerful heart. So that has to be done intentionally. Try to develop it. If we are not doing it, at least add it. 2 to 3 minutes it takes. The prayers are such important. The Bhagavatam is full of prayers where we can just recite Or as Vaishnava songs are there, Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Narottam Das Thakur, they have written so many books. We don't have to compose it. We should not compose anything like that. Due to our understanding may not be pure, so that's why initially it is not recommended to compose our own song. Once in advanced stage, when it is sprouting, that time we can compose it also. But it is not recommended in initial stage. You can just sing the prayers of the acharyas, 2 to 3 minutes it takes. What is the problem? That in a glorification of the Lord, we can sing. One
Yes,
Vaishnava song, just have some 2-3 minutes in front of Lord, sit. You are having some deities in your home.
yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
So you can just, which are the deities? Gaurnitai.
Shri Jagannath, Balbhadra and Subhadra Ma.
Wow, so wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay. So we can have some song like that, Jai Jai Jagannath Sachiranandan, or if that is not there, then we can sing some Jagannath Ashtakam or any song which is the glorification of Krishna or Gaur Nitai or Jagannath song. That way we can fold hands and say that, oh Lord, I am there for you. 5 minutes I will be singing. My voice is not good. Still I am singing. I am trying to remember what the glories and what the things you have done in the past. And that's why I'm just worshiping you. And my worship is also not perfect. It is full of faults. In Haribari, without any meditation, without any consciousness, I am just doing somehow or other. But you are out of mercy, you are accepting my worship. You are accepting my prayers. So that way, it is in a Shodashupchar, the last part, which is whenever my friend who was my teacher also, who told me that the last part of the Shodashupchar is the most important part. And it is a prayers. Anarpita Charincharat Karunaya Utirnakaru Samarpayita Munnata Julavaswa. So Bhakti Shastri. Hari Purata Sundara Duti Kadamba Sandipita Sada Rudhe Kandare Spurito Vasachinandana. So these are the prayers we can chant in front of the deities. Whenever we go to the temple deities, that time we can have the prayers. What we are, so that's why in a 7:30 it is Brahma Samhita is been sung. That very Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. So that Jamuna Mataji is singing, and we can also sing with her. That is a good habit where we are trying to glorify the Lord. That is a habit. One can have the habit of glorifying the Lord with authorized prayers. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, should I continue reading?
Yes.
Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, why impersonal realization is difficult? Suffering present. That goal is attained by the jivas endowed with bodies, dehavad bihi, only by undergoing suffering, dukkham. Stopping senses is not easy. The senses have the power for particular knowledge, such as sound, not for something which does not possess particular qualities. Therefore, stopping of the senses is necessary for those who desire knowledge of the impersonal without particular qualities, nirvishesha. But stopping the senses is like stopping rivers. Reference, for a devotee, it is easy.
Jat Pada Pankaj Palash Vilas Bhaktya कर्माशयं ग्रन्थिं उद्गतरन्ति सन्ता तद्वान्न रिक्तं मतयो यतयोऽपिरुद्धा श्रोतो गणस्तमर्णं भज वासुदेवम्.
Hare Krishna. Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes.
The devotees who are always engaged in the service of the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord can very easily overcome hard-knotted desires for fruitive activities. Because this is very difficult, the non-devotees, the jnanis and yogis, although trying to stop the waves of sense gratification, cannot do so. Therefore, you are advised to engage in the devotional service of Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, Srimad Bhagavatam 4.22.39. Krishro mahan iha bhavarnavam aplavesham sadvarga nakram asukhena titishanti tatvam harer bhagavato bhajaniyam angrim kritvo dupam vyasanam uttara dushtararnam. The ocean of nescience is very difficult to cross because it is infested with many dangerous sharks. Although those who are non-devotees undergo severe austerities and penances to cross that ocean, we recommend that you simply take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, which are like boats for crossing the ocean. Although the ocean is difficult to cross, by taking shelter of his lotus feet, you will overcome all dangers. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.22.40. Attain only by mixture of bhakti. Furthermore, even that goal of impersonal Brahman, which is attained by such suffering, is attained only by having a mixture with bhakti. Without bhakti to the Lord, the worshippers of the impersonal Brahman obtain only suffering and not Brahman. Brahma says, Tesham asau kleshala eva shishyate nanyat yatha sthula tushavaghātinām. As a person who beats an empty husk of wheat cannot get grain, one who simply speculates cannot achieve self-realization. His only gain is trouble. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.4.
So we will be going to this the next shloka only. This is all, it is same thing. The Baldev Vidyabhushan and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Pal's more commentary over that. So 12.6 and 7 we will be seeing that. Ye tu sarvani karmani Mayi sanyasya matparaha Ananyaneva yogena Mam dhyayantam upasate Teshamaham samudharta Mrityu samsara sagarat Bhavamina chiratmartha Mayyaveshita chetasam. We can link, there's a link.
Link Baldev Vidyabhushan. Those who perform exclusive bhakti to me, the source of the Jivatma, after hearing the real nature of Atma, and who do not strive just for direct perception of Atma, quickly attain me alone, by that exclusive bhakti alone. This is explained in 2 verses. Sridhar Swami, but my devotees attain realization easily through my grace. This is being stated in 2 verses, 12.6 to 7.
So this chart is there where you please go on reading this chart.
Yeah. Devotional service, text 6 to 7. Devotional service is simple and easy because Krishna personally delivers his devotees. Mind completely fixed. So where should I start from, Prabhuji? From top?
From the only way to
Okay.
appreciate Supreme Personality of God.
Only way to appreciate Supreme Personality of Godhead is devotional service. Fortunate position of devotee delivered by the Lord very soon. Realization in pure devotional service is God is great. Individual soul is subordinate to him, and duty is service to Lord or serve Maya. Process is simple. Just devotee devote to your occupation and chant Hare Krishna, thus attract Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna's promise without delay, Lord will deliver from material oceans. Yogis have to personally endeavor. The fortunate position of devotees delivered by the Lord very soon. The principles are mind completely fixed in devotion to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Standard of devotional service, one can do any work but work only for Krishna. Desire is life's only mission and desire is satisfaction of the Lord. Sign of intelligence to always prefer devotional service compared to other paths. Specific benediction of DS, attain benefits
Devotional
of
service.
devotional service, attain benefits of all other processes and no need to perform fruitive acts or mental speculation. Krishna's promise, without delay, Lord will deliver from material ocean. Yogis have to personally endeavor. Comes on Garuda to pick from the ocean analogy. Expert swimmer also needs help to be picked up from the ocean. Lord takes responsibility analogy. Child taken care by parents. Mind completely fixed in devotion to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, simply chant Hare Krishna and go to supreme destination easily and happily. Refer Bhagavad Gita 18.66. Sarva dharman parityajya. Highest perfection of life, take shelter of the supreme omnipotent Godhead, Krishna.
So this is a summary of the purport of these two shlokas, where Srila Prabhupada has mentioned some points. So this is in a flowchart form. So all the purport has been covered in this one slide only. Yeah.
Translation 12.6 to 7. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura's translation, O son of Pritha, I quickly deliver from the ocean of repeated birth and death those who meditate on me and worship me with Ananya Bhakti, having surrendered to me and given up all other processes for attaining me. Baldev Vidyabhushan's translation, but for those who have surrendered to me, having given up all activities for attaining me, meditate on me and worship me with Ananya Bhakti Yoga, I quickly become the deliverer from the ocean of repeated birth and death, O son of Pritha.
So Krishna here, the promise is that I am the swift deliverer. Nobody is a swift deliverer. I can protect my devotees within a fraction of seconds, and I can deliver those who are calling out my mercy. Yeah.
Srila Prabhupada, working exclusively for Krishna. Understanding our fortune, devotees are very fortunate to be delivered very soon from material existence by the Lord. Understanding our duty, God is great and that the individual soul is subordinate to him. Duty to render service to the Lord. If not done, one will render service to Maya. How to render devotional service? One should fix his mind fully on Krishna in order to achieve him. Baldev Vidyabhushan, even while hearing and chanting, they absorb their minds in me. Dhyayanta. One should work only for Krishna. Work doesn't matter, but it should be done only for Krishna. With no desire of achievement other than pleasing Krishna, life's mission to please Krishna can sacrifice anything. Example like Arjuna in the battle of Kurukshetra. One can devote himself in his occupation plus engage in chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Such transcendental chanting attracts the devotee to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah.
Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, Bhakti awards results of all processes. The devotees, even without jnana, by Kevala Bhakti alone, comfortably attain liberation from samsara. Sannyasa, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, having given up all other processes for the purpose of attaining Krishna. Baldev Vidyabhushan, giving up all prescribed duties, considering them as distractions from bhakti. Sridhar Swami, they worship me with unswerving devotion which has no other object of worship than myself. That is, they worship me with wholehearted devotion. Mam dhyayanta ananyena navityatenyo bhajaniyo yasmin tenaiva ekanta bhakti yogeno pasata ityartha.
So here the sannyasa definition is been given. This is my sannyasa matpara. This shloka is talking about. So what is the sannyas? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that having given up all other processes for the purpose of attaining me. And Baldev Vidyabhushan says that giving up all the prescribed duties, considering them as insignificant and distractions for the bhakti. So this is a sannyasa. Sannyasa means not just giving up the responsibilities. The sannyasa means giving up all the prescribed duties and working only for the pleasure of Krishna. That is a sannyasa as per the Baldev Vidyabhushan. And all other processes other than bhakti yoga, if somebody is doing, he is also a sannyasi. He is just giving up other processes and doing only bhakti, then he is also called as a sannyasi as per the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. This we will not be taking. No, this also will not be taken. It's done now, almost. Some small video. So this is the example of the Gajendra, where he is chanting the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai Yatedat Chidatmakam Purushaya Adi Bijaya Pareshaya Chapidimai. His first prayer is like this. Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai Yatedat Chidatmakam Purushaya Adi Bijaya Pareshaya Chapidimai. He is saying that I am offering that flower, offering this flower to that personality, Purushaya Adi Bijaya, who is Adi Bija, and who is Pareshaya Vidhimahi, who is giving up all the relief from all sort of miseries. To that personality, I am offering this. When he was chanting these prayers, all the demigods were covering the area and they were expecting that it is for me, it is for me. He is offering the prayers. But when he chanted Purushaya, okay, we are also the Purushas. Adi Bijaya. Then when the Adi Bija was been chanted, that time Lord Narayana personally came. And when he was coming, all other demigods were giving him the side. So that way, the prayers, and this is like Teshamaham Samudhartam Mukti Samsaraka Sagarat. Bhavami na chirat partha. I don't take time to deliver my devotees when they are in need of me. Hare Krishna is saying that. Here we are ending this section and we are starting the 12.8 to 12 right now. Just hold on. That I will be. That is. I will just go and come for 2-3 minutes only. Just drink some water and we'll come back. Yeah, so this is a summary of this section. Progressive stage of the devotion from highest to the lowest. Shloka number 8, living within Krishna by continuously fixing one's mind and intelligence upon him. 9, practicing the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga to increase one's desire and ability to remember and obtain Krishna. 10, surrendering one's work to Krishna. 11th, surrendering to Krishna the results of one's work. And 12th, cultivating meditation on the Krishna or the knowledge. Cultivating meditation or knowledge. So these are the progressive stages. Mind fix on Krishna, then what? Follow regulative principles of sadhana bhakti. Then 12.10, work for Krishna and renunciation. So it is progressive, or else first of all one has to renounce, then work for Krishna, then follow the regulative principles of sadhana bhakti, and then the mind will be fixed. So the Krishna has spoken the topmost stage first, and then it is like many times Krishna is doing that, the topmost, the first, and then okay, whether you can able to follow this, then there is some step down, this one is there, then the step down, that another option is there. So like that, but it is like from 12.11, 12 to 12.10, 12.10 to 12.9, and 12.9 to 12.8 is the stage. Just a minute. 12.8. Please recite after me. Mayyeva manadhyasva.
Mayyeva manadhyasva.
Mayi buddhim niveshaya.
Mayi buddhim niveshaya.
Nivasishyasti mayyeva.
Vishyasya mayyeva.
Urdhvam na samshaya.
Atha urdhvam na samshaya.
When you're ready, just fix your mind and then the link also. Please read.
Hare Krishna. May I
Hare
read
Krishna.
yeah, please proceed, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus, you will live in me always without a doubt. Bhagavad-Gita, 12th chapter, 18th shloka, 8th shloka. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, since Bhakti is the best, please perform only Bhakti. He teaches this Bhakti in 3 verses. Perform devotional service by thinking exclusively of Krishna. Fix mind upon me. Engage your intelligence in me. Benefit. You will live in me always without a doubt. Flowchart. Devotee is transcendental form. Devotee is transcendental from very beginning, lives in Krishna without a doubt. Service gives realizations. One not engaged in service cannot understand how it is possible, although the process is there in the Bhagavad-Gita and other Vedic literatures. In devotional service, one live in direct relationship with Supreme Lord. Devotee does not live on a material plane, but lives in Krishna. When one chants the holy name and Krishna are non-different. Krishna and internal potency dances on the tongue. When the devotee honors prasadam, he becomes Krishnized.
So this is a very simplest way Prabhupada is mentioning in his purport. What exactly fix mind upon me, engage your intelligence in me. It's a very simplest way Prabhupada is mentioning these points. Chant his name, eat the Krishna Prasadam, the remnants of Lord. That's why the way you will be becoming Krishnized. Translation.
Translation 12.8. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus, you will live in me always, without a doubt. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, Baladev Vidyabhushan translation. Concentrate your mind only on me. Fix your intelligence on me. You will attain residence with me after leaving the body, without doubt. Srila Prabhupada, devotee lives in Krishna. Spiritualized relation with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He does not live on a material plane. He lives in a direct relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His position is transcendental from the very beginning. Spiritualized chanting. When he chants, the Lord and the internal potency are dancing on the tongue of the devotee. Lord is non-different than the holy name. Spiritualized eating. When he offers Krishna food, Krishna directly accepts these eatables and the devotee becomes Krishnized by eating the remnants. Non-devotee cannot understand this.
Mayeva mana adhastva. Is it?
Mayeva mana adatsva. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura. The word eva excludes the impersonal aspects of the Lord. Which form? Concentrate your mind upon me. Only remember on me only. Remember only me. That form of Shyama Sundara with yellow clothes and forest garland, and not the impersonal Brahman. Baladev Vidyabhushan. Concentrate your mind upon me alone, not upon your Atma. Ramanuja. Focus your mind on me alone, on account of my being the unsurpassed end of human endeavor, and on my being easily attainable without delay.
Atishayit Purusharthatvat Sulabhatvat Achiraladvat Chamai Eva Mana Adhyastva Mai Buddhi Niveshaya.
Mayi Buddhim Niveshaya. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura. Fix your intelligence, which has the power of discrimination, upon me. This means to continually reflect on the statement of scripture using intelligence, which will result in meditation. Such contemplation is called manana. Ramanuja. Let your buddhi enter into me, strengthened by the conviction that I alone am the supreme object to be attained. Prabhuji.
Mai Buddhi Niveshaya. Aham eva parama prape eti adhyavasayam kuru.
Niva shishyasi mai eva. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura. Thus, you will attain residence near me. Baladev Vidyabhushan. Doing this, you will live very close to me. Krishna Mayi. You are not like the Sanishta devotee who, after realizing the enjoyments of Swarga, attain me in a majestic form, but not close to me.
Yeah. So it is a Mai Buddhi Niveshaya. It is like this point is, this means to continually reflect on the statements of scriptures using intelligence. This is very important. This is buddhim niveshaya means continually reflecting some shlokas, some statements in from the Srimad Bhagavatam or Gita, and reflecting these meanings using the intelligence. That is the where we are always engaging our buddhi on the Lord. Buddhi on the Lord means, as per Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, always use your intelligence and meditate the thought processes on the scriptural sentences which you read. Sridhar Swami.
Sridhar Swami, after death, you will live with me alone. Of this, there is no doubt.
Dehante maranantaram mayyeva nivasyasi madatmana vasam karishyasi natra samshayaha.
Ramanuja, you will live in me alone. That is, you will live in me alone immediately after focusing your mind on me by forming the conviction that I alone am the supreme object to be attained.
Ata urdhvam mayi eva nivasyasi aham eva param prapeti adhyavasaya purva kamano nivashi nanantaram eva mayi nivasyasi ityarthaha. This is like that. After death, like Sridhar Swami is very simply mentioning that after death, you will be there in my abode with me. There is no doubt. And you will live in me alone. That means what? You will live in me alone means that I will be there personally for you and you will be there personally for me. Don't think that I will be there with many others also. That means I will be impersonal to you. No, you will live in me alone. Means I will be giving you that feeling that you are there for me and I am there for you. That is a Ramanuja's understanding. Ramanuja Acharya is mentioning that Krishna is giving the guarantee that I will be there specifically for you. Even though there are so many people are there as my devotees, you don't think that Krishna will not be having a time for me. It is live in me alone. 12.9. This shloka we will be taking and then we will end. Atha chittam samadhatum
Ata chittam samadhatum
na shaknosi mayi sthiram
na shaknosi mayi stiram
abhyasa yogena tato
abhyasa yogena tato
mamichhaptum dhananjaya.
mamichhaptum dhananjaya.
Yeah, link.
Link Baladev Vidyabhushan. Those who can check the moments of the mind, which are like the Ganga, will certainly attain you quickly. But I do not have such abilities. How can I attain such power of mind? Sridhar Swami, to one who is unable to worship like that, an easier means is being taught.
Very easy way to worship the Lord is a step down now. The Lord has stepped down again.
Okay.
Yeah.
If one cannot perform devotional service, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga and you will develop a desire to attain me. Those who have not developed attachment for Krishna, how to achieve the stage of pure love? Practice devotional service with present senses. How to follow regulations of devotional service? Guidance of Guru. Rise early, enter temple and offer prayers, chant Hare Krishna, offer flowers to deities, cook for the deities, honor prasadam, constant hearing of Bhagavad-Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam from pure devotees. Qualifications to practice. Anyone can practice. Guarantee of success. There is surety of love of God. Definition of Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is the purification of the senses by prescribed rules and regulations. Senses, when engaged in contact with Supreme Lord, are purified, awakens dormant love. Service
Spiritual existence.
Service in
platform of the
spiritual
pure.
existence is the platform of pure love.
So this 12.9 is more specific for our ISKCON devotees in general, for us in general. 12.8 is for the pure devotees, pure devotion service. That is very easy, but now that is not been happening. So what, at least on this stage, we should work on 12.9. This is Abhyasa Yogena Tato. This is Abhyasa Yogena Tato. This is that Abhyasa Yoga, we have to do it. We have to practice Abhyasa Yogena Tato. Mamit Chamtum Dhananjaya. Translation.
Translation 12.9. My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura translation. Otherwise, if you are not able to concentrate your mind on me steadily, then seek to attain me by the method of repetition of fixing your mind on me, O conqueror of wealth. Baladev Vidyabhushan translation. Otherwise, if you are not able to concentrate your mind on me steadily, then seek to attain me by the method of withdrawing the mind from sense object and fixing it on me, O conqueror of wealth.
So these are the methods. Otherwise, if you are not able to concentrate your mind on me steadily, then seek to attain me by the method of repeating, by the method of repetition of fixing your mind on me. The repetition means what? The repetition in the endeavors, repetition in the process. That's why the repetition is required whenever we are, okay, not only once we are hearing the Bhagavatam, we are Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Not only once we are chanting the holy name, we are doing every time, 16 rounds. So this repetition method is required.
Srila Prabhupada, developing love for Krishna. This was two different processes of Bhakti Yoga. One who has actually developed attachment for Krishna by transcendental love. One who has not developed attachment by transcendental love. Different prescribed rules and regulations to elevate to the stage of attachment to Krishna under the guidance of spiritual master. Rising early in the morning, taking bath, entering temple, offering prayers, chanting Hare Krishna, collecting flowers to offer to deity, cooking foodstuff for deities, honoring prasadam, constantly hear Bhagavad-Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam from pure devotees. Is this love artificial? No. Love for Krishna is dormant in everyone's heart, simply has to be revived by the practice of Krishna consciousness.
So these are the items where A, B, C, D, E, F. This is automatically be done whenever we are there in a temple in the morning program. Rising early is done, taking bath, entering temple, offering prayers, chanting Hare Krishna. These three things have been done when we attend the morning program. Collecting the flowers to be offered to deities. Somebody else is collecting, but we are offering it. That when the Shringar Darshan is done, that time we offer the flower. In a Guru Puja also we are offering the flower. Cooking foodstuffs for deities. So many pujaris, they are having the services. Like twice in a week, I am also having the service for the cooking for deities. And then cooking foodstuffs for deities, it is done. Then honoring prasadam that we do after the morning program, the breakfast is there, or the Mangal Bhog Prasadam, Raj Bhog Prasadam, that we are honoring, and constantly hear Bhagavad-Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam from the pure devotees. Every day we are having the Bhagavatam class, and apart from that, we are hearing on a personal recorded some classes of our spiritual masters, some other pure devotees. We are hearing that. By that, we are on this platform of process of developing attachment for Krishna.
Sense gratification, Krishna consciousness, Bhakti Yoga. Senses, impure. In Krishna consciousness, senses become purified. Service. Service done simply for some exchange of money, no love, neither the master has any love. Service done without any ulterior motives for the pleasure of Lord, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead possesses unlimited love for the living entity, not given in puppet. Love, no question of love. Under Krishna consciousness, stage of love can be achieved by the practice of devotional service.
Yeah. So,
Vishwanath Chakra,
please go on, Gani.
Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, replacing material impressions by Krishna consciousness impressions. When is Abhyasa required? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, if one is unable to remember the Lord with no preparation. Baladev Vidya Bhushana, if you cannot offer Adatum, your full consciousness with complete ease, some, to me in such a way that it is steady, Stiram. Ramanuja, if you are unable to focus your mind immediately on me in deep meditation, then seek to reach me by the practice of repetition, Abhyasa Yoga.
Atha sahasa eva mai sthiram samadhatum na shaknosi tata abhyasa yogena mam aptum ichha. So when the abhyasa is required, the Krishna is saying that in the 12.8, it was not required when the mind was really attached. But now here the mind is not attached over the Krishna. In our cases, like where we are struggling, so that's why we are doing the sadhana bhakti. We have to wake up in the morning, and it is a force is required to wake up in the morning. So there are some rules are required. Okay, if you are not coming for the morning program, then there is some transcendental punishment is there. Writing Hare Krishna 108 times for the brahmacharis, and there are some forces required initially. But when it is that practice is achieved, then automatically the personality develops a love. So that the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that if one is unable to remember the Krishna with no preparation, it's like he is not prepared to remember Krishna. It is still the force is required. Then it is abhyasa is required. Abhyasa means it is when we do like the abhyas for the examination, we are not prepared. So the abhyas is required, the practice is required. Still, we have not mug up that formula. So that's why the endeavor is required. So that is the case.
How is Abhyasa done? Repeatedly withdraw the mind when it goes here and there. Fix the mind on me. By this method of Abhyasa Yogena, endeavor to attain me. Baladev Vidya Bhushana, practice this repeatedly. Ramanuja, concentrate your mind on me, the ocean of manifold attributes innate to me like beauty, affability, friendliness, affection, compassion, sweetness, majesty, magnanimity, heroism, valor, might, omniscience, freedom from wants, unfailing resolves, sovereignty over all, being the cause of all, etc., and being antagonistic to all that is evil.
So that is the shloka of this whatever the Ramanuja has spoken. And why the
Vishwanath
Chakravarti? Please read.
Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, stop the movement of mind, which like a river cannot be controlled, and which gravitates to vulgar sense objects such as taste, and establish the mind's movement in my beautiful form and taste. Why Dhananjaya? Dhananjaya have conquered many enemies. You have taken much wealth. Now, conquering the mind, you can take the treasure of meditation. Result, Baladev Vidyabhushana. When your mind becomes devoted to me, by this method, attain me will be easy.
So every word is very important here. Why Dhananjaya? Because you have already conquered and you gain some wealth, the money. So now you have to conquer the mind and attach it to me. So this shloka we will be taking next time, 12.10 to 12.20, we will try to cover. If it is not covered, then we will be having the Friday. But I will try to cover by the Wednesday only. If not, then we will extend it to the Friday. All right? Hare Krishna. Srila
Hare
Prabhupada,
Krishna,
Jai
Prabhuji.
Jai,
Jai.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you, Prabhu.
Pranam, Prabhu.